Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive deep into something new today.
Absolutely. Always up for a good deep dive.
This one's all about fitness. We've got an article here, kind of a big picture view of what fitness really means, and then this blog post that gets into like daily routines for success.
Interesting combo. So are we busting myths about fitness today?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when you hear the word fitness, what pops into your head?
Honestly, six-pack abs or like someone running a marathon.
Right. But this article, it actually defines fitness as being able to handle your day without getting wiped out.
Okay, so less about looks, more about how your body actually works.
Exactly. Think like playing with your kids at the park, carrying groceries, taking the stairs without gasping for air.
Makes sense. So basic functionality we might take for granted.
Right. And the cool thing is the physical activity guidelines, they break it down into 5 parts, almost like a checklist for your body.
5 parts, huh? Lay it on me.
All right. So first up is your cardiorespiratory fitness.
Cardio. I know that one. Isn't that like how well your heart and lungs use oxygen?
Yeah. So if I can walk up a flight of stairs and not feel winded, that's good cardiorespiratory fitness.
Exactly. You got it. Then there's musculoskeletal fitness, which is all about strength, endurance, power.
So how well your muscles can handle a challenge, whether it's lifting weights or carrying groceries.
Yes, yep. Everyday stuff counts. Then we got flexibility, how much those muscles and tendons can stretch.
Ooh, that's my weak spot. I can barely touch my toes.
Flexibility is important. Helps avoid injuries, especially as we get older.
Right, gotta stay mobile. Okay, what else is on this checklist?
Balance. All about staying steady, preventing falls. Important at any age, really, but especially as we age.
Yeah, no one wants to be the person always tripping over their own feet.
And last but not least, we've got speed. How quickly you can move.
I always thought speed was just for athletes.
Nah, it's about reacting quickly in everyday life. Catching something that's falling, dodging out of the way, that kind of thing.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. So it's not just about hitting the gym, it's about being able to move through life, confidently.
Exactly. And all these 5 pieces, they're connected. Improving one helps the others.
So it's not just about focusing on one area, it's about building overall fitness.
Right. Like building a house. You need a strong foundation, sturdy walls, the whole package.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've got these 5 components, but there are so many ways to exercise. Where do we even begin?
Well, the article talks a lot about aerobic exercise, good old cardio. That's a great foundation for any fitness program.
Cardio, so running, swimming, dancing, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Anything that gets your heart rate up and keeps it there for a bit. It's all about strengthening your heart and lungs.
It's not just about physical health, right? I've heard cardio is great for your mental state, too.
Oh, absolutely. Cardio has been shown to boost mood, even help with sleep. And there's research on how it helps with, thinking more clearly.
Wow. So it's like a natural antidepressant and a brain booster, too. Sign me up.
Right. And let's not forget the long-term stuff. Regular cardio helps lower the risk of chronic diseases, heart disease, stroke, even some cancers.
All right. I'm convinced. Cardio is key. But what about strength training? Is that as crucial?
Strength training is super important, but it often gets overlooked. Especially, I think, by women.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe there's this fear that it'll make you bulky. But that's just not true for most people.
So it's not about bulking up, it's about being strong and functional.
Exactly. Strong muscles support your joints, improve posture, make everyday life easier, and it helps prevent muscle loss as we age.
I never thought about it that way. So it's not just about aesthetics, it's about staying mobile and independent as we get older.
You got it. And it's easier to get started than you might think. Start slow, gradually increase the intensity as you get stronger. You can use weights, resistance bands, even just your body weight.
Okay, good to know. I was a little intimidated by those weight rooms at the gym, but it sounds like there are options for beginners.
Tons of options. And don't underestimate those body weight exercises, squats, push-ups, lunges. Those are incredibly effective.
I'll have to check some of those out. Now, we talked about flexibility earlier. Do we need to focus on that separately?
Flexibility is definitely worth some dedicated time. While some exercises help with it, like yoga, it's good to include specific stretching or mobility work in your routine.
So what's the difference between stretching and mobility work? Are they the same?
They're related, but not quite the same. Stretching is about lengthening the muscles and tendons. Mobility is more about how well your joints move.
Okay, I get it. So if I want to reach overhead without feeling stiff, that's where mobility comes in.
Exactly. And both are important for avoiding injury, reducing pain, even having good posture.
Gotcha. So we've got cardio, strength training, flexibility, anything else?
One more big one. Rest and recovery.
Wait, rest, isn't that like the opposite of fitness?
Nope, it's actually essential. It's when your body repairs itself, rebuilds muscle, gets stronger.
So skipping the gym sometimes is actually a good thing.
It can be. You don't have to go hard every single day. Overtraining can lead to burnout, injuries, even make your performance worse.
That makes me feel a lot better about those days. I just want to chill.
Rest is your friend. And there are different types of rest, like active recovery. Think gentle movement, walking, easy yoga. It helps your muscles recover faster.
So it's like giving your body a chance to, catch its breath before the next workout.
Exactly. It's all about finding the balance. Push yourself, but also give your body the time it needs to recover.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to fitness. It's less like a chore now, more like taking care of myself.
That's the spirit. It's about finding what works for you, listening to your body, and creating a routine you can actually enjoy.
Now, we're not getting deep into nutrition today, but I'm curious, how important is what we eat, especially when it comes to fitness?
Think of it this way. You can't expect a car to run on empty, right?
Right.
Same with your body. What you eat and drink is fuel, impacts your energy, how you perform, how well you recover.
Okay, makes sense. So I should probably pay more attention to what I'm eating, especially on days I work out.
Absolutely. We won't get into specific meal plans, but focus on whole foods, enough protein, and staying hydrated, especially when you're active.
Great advice. So we've covered the basics, the different parts of fitness, types of exercise, rest, nutrition. But how do we actually create a schedule that works?
That's where this blog post comes in. It's got some surprisingly simple daily habits that make a big difference.
Okay, I'm all ears. Hit me with these habits.
First one might surprise you. Consistent sleep schedule.
Wait, sleep. How does that tie into fitness?
Sleep is when your body repairs itself, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
It's crucial for recovery, hormones, energy.
Huh. I never thought of sleep as being so connected to exercise.
Oh, it's huge. And it's not just how much you sleep, but the quality and consistency. This blog recommends going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, even on weekends.
Okay, that makes sense. Tough to give up those weekend sleep-ins, though.
It might take some getting used to, but those consistent sleep patterns really help.
So consistent sleep, habit number 1. What's next?
Regular meal times.
Okay, that one seems more obvious. Helps keep your energy stable, right?
That's part of it. It's also about keeping your digestion happy and preventing those energy crashes that kill your motivation.
Oh, I know those crashes all too well. Like hitting a wall in the middle of the day.
Exactly. Eating at regular intervals gives your body a steady stream of fuel, keeps your energy balanced, and your metabolism running smoothly.
Keeps the engine running. I like that. What's habit number 3?
This one's super simple. A daily morning walk.
A walk. That seems almost too easy.
Don't underestimate the power of a walk. Gets your blood flowing, helps clear your head. Plus, it's an easy way to fit in some extra movement without a huge time commitment.
Okay, I can definitely do a morning walk. What's number 4?
Hydration. Start your day with 16 ounces of water.
Whoa, that's a lot of water first thing in the morning. Why so much?
Well, you wake up dehydrated. A big glass of water helps rehydrate you, kickstarts your metabolism, might even help with appetite control throughout the day.
Interesting. And I know that not drinking enough water can really make you feel sluggish.
For sure. Water is crucial for your body to function properly. So starting your day hydrated is a good move.
All right, we're down to the last habit. What is it?
The most obvious one, but maybe the hardest, scheduled movement. Make exercise a non-negotiable part of your routine, like a meeting you can't miss.
I know. It's so easy to let exercise slide when life gets busy.
It is, but I bet you always feel better when you make it a priority.
You're right, I do.
So it's about recognizing those benefits and really committing to your health. This blog suggests planning your workouts in advance, finding a time that consistently works for you.
So structure and accountability are key.
Exactly. Like any goal, you need a plan to make it happen.
This is all making so much sense. It's amazing how these small habits can make a big difference in how you feel overall.
That's what's so great about it. It's not about some massive overnight change. It's about those small, consistent choices. They add up over time.
I'm feeling inspired to create a plan that works for me, but everyone's different, right? So how do we personalize this approach?
That's where we get into the nitty-gritty, taking into account your own life, your goals, and all that. So where were we? Yes, personalizing your approach. It's great to have all this info, but how do you actually get started? There are just so many options.
I know, right. It can be a little overwhelming, like, should I join a gym, try a class, just go for a run outside? Where do you even begin?
Well, one thing you could consider is HIIT, high-intensity interval training. It's gotten super popular, and for good reason. It's a really efficient way to get a great workout without spending hours at the gym.
I've heard of HIIT workouts, but I'm not sure exactly how they work. Is it just going as hard as you can for like a few minutes and that's it?
Well, it's a little bit more than that. It's more like alternating between short bursts of intense exercise and then brief recovery periods. So you might say sprints all out for 30 seconds and then walk for a minute and then repeat that cycle a few times.
So it's kind of like a roller coaster for your body, bursts of intensity, then a little break, and then you hit it hard again.
That's a great way to think about it. And what's really interesting is the science behind it. Those high-intensity bursts really push your body to its limits, which leads to some really awesome adaptations.
Adaptations, huh? Like what kind?
Well, for one thing, HIIT can boost your metabolism even after you're done working out. So your body keeps burning calories at a higher rate for hours afterward.
So you're saying I could burn more calories with like a 20-minute HIIT workout than with a longer, less intense workout.
That's the idea. Plus, HIIT is amazing for your heart health, can increase muscle mass, and even help your body use insulin better, which is super important for keeping your blood sugar stable.
Wow. Okay, color me impressed. So is HIIT something that anyone can do, or is it only for people who are already really fit?
It can definitely be adapted for all fitness levels. You just start with shorter intervals and lower intensity and then work your way up as you get stronger. The key is to listen to your body and not push yourself too hard too soon.
That's good advice. I think I was a little intimidated by how intense it sounds. Like I wouldn't be able to keep up.
And you know, the great thing is you can do HII workouts practically anywhere, at home, at the park, even at the office if you've got a little bit of space. No fancy equipment needed, just your own body weight and a little bit of motivation.
Okay. I am definitely intrigued by HIIT. But what about more, I guess, traditional forms of cardio, like running or cycling? Are those still good options?
Oh, absolutely. Those are classics for a reason. They're effective. You can do them outside, which is always a plus.
I love running outside. There's just something about being out in nature, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. And it's more than just the physical benefits. Being in nature can be so good for your mental and emotional health, too.
Totally. It's like a moving meditation. You can clear your head, enjoy the scenery, get a little vitamin D from the sun.
I love that. And cycling is fantastic, too, especially if you're looking for an activity that's easier on your joints.
I actually have a bike that's been gathering dust in the garage. Maybe it's time to dust it off and hit the trails.
I think you should. It's a great way to explore your neighborhood, get some exercise and fresh air at the same time.
Now, I've always been curious about those group fitness classes, but I've also been like a little intimidated to try them.
Oh, I totally get that. Group fitness classes can be a really fun way to mix up your routine. They're also great for staying motivated and meeting new people. You get that sense of community you don't get from working out alone.
Yeah. I can see how having people sweating and working hard alongside you could really push you to do your best.
For sure. And there are so many different types of classes out there. Everything from high-energy Zumba and spin classes to more mind-body focused practices like yoga and Pilates.
You know, yoga has always appealed to me. It just seems like such a good way to improve flexibility, build strength, and just like find a little inner peace.
Yoga is so great for that. It really helps you connect with your breath, work on your posture, and just become more aware of your body.
Okay, I think I need to add a yoga class to my list. Now let's circle back to strength training for a minute. You mentioned that it's often overlooked by women. Why do you think that is? And why is it so important?
Yeah, I think there's this myth out there that lifting weights will make women bulky, but that's not really true. Building a lot of muscle takes a very specific training approach and diet. For most women, strength training just helps tone and sculpt their muscles, makes them stronger. And it honestly just makes everyday activities easier.
So it's about building that functional strength, not necessarily about like getting huge muscles.
Exactly. And the benefits go way beyond looks too. Strength training helps build strong bones, which is so important for preventing osteoporosis. And as we get older, it can really make a difference.
That's so important. I've heard about that.
And it also boosts your metabolism, which can help with weight management. And it even improves how well your body uses insulin.
Wow. It sounds like strength training is really essential for women's health.
It really is. And, you know, it doesn't have to be intimidating. You can start with simple bodyweight exercises or use light weights. The key is to challenge those muscles in a safe and effective way.
I'm definitely ready to like ditch the fear and embrace those weights. But I have to admit, I'm a little intimidated by the weight room at the gym. It always seems like everyone there knows exactly what they're doing, and I'm afraid of looking lost or doing something wrong.
Oh, I totally get it. It can be intimidating going into a space where you feel like you don't belong. But, most people at the gym are actually super friendly and happy to help. So if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, that's reassuring. But what if I'm not really comfortable asking for help?
Well, there are other options. A lot of gyms offer introductory classes or personal training sessions that can teach you the basics and help you feel more confident. You can also find tons of great strength training workouts online or through those fitness apps. And if you're really not feeling the gym vibe, you can always strength train at home.
Ooh, at-home workouts. That's definitely appealing. It's convenient. It's less intimidating.
Exactly. And there are a lot of creative ways to do it, even without fancy equipment. You can use your own body weight, everyday stuff around the house, like water bottles or cans of food as weights. And those resistance bands are great and pretty affordable.
I love that idea. Using everyday things for fitness. That's so resourceful.
It is. Fitness doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. It's about making it work for you.
So we've covered cardio, strength training, those group fitness classes, even at-home workouts. Anything else we need to talk about?
We can't forget about flexibility and mobility. I think these are honestly some of the most neglected aspects of fitness.
Right.
But they're so crucial for maintaining a healthy range of motion, preventing those injuries, and just moving better overall.
Right. We talked before about the difference between flexibility and mobility. Flexibility being about how much your muscles can lengthen, and mobility is more about the range of motion in your joints. But how do we actually do that? Like, how do we incorporate it into our routine?
Well, stretching is a great way to improve flexibility. Aim to get at least 10 minutes of stretching in most days of the week. Focus on those major muscle groups, your hamstrings, quads, calves, back, and shoulders. And you could try different types of stretching too, like static stretches where you hold a pose for a while, or dynamic stretches where you're moving through a range of motion.
Oh, I've heard that dynamic stretching is a good way to warm up before a workout.
You're exactly right. It helps prime your body for movement and helps reduce the risk of injury. Static stretching is better after your workout when your muscles are all warmed up.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about mobility work? Any suggestions for how to improve those joints?
Activities like yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, those are all amazing for mobility. They combine stretching with controlled movements, and they also work on your balance and coordination.
Right, and they all have that like meditative quality too. So you're relaxing and de-stressing at the same time.
Exactly. Really good for the mind and body.
Okay, this is a lot to take in. I'm feeling really inspired, want to try all these new things. But I also know that motivation can be, fickle. What about those times when the excitement fades or life just gets in the way of our good intentions? How do we stay on track when that happens?
That's a great question, and it's something we all struggle with. It's not always about feeling super pumped to hit the gym, right? So we need to find ways to stay consistent even when we're just not feeling it. So yeah, finding ways to stay consistent even when you don't feel like it, that's the real challenge. I mean, everyone struggles with motivation sometimes.
Totally. Like, how do you fight that urge to just hit the snooze button and stay under the covers?
It's tough. No magic solution, but there are some things that can help. One thing is, like, reframing how you think about exercise. Instead of seeing it as a chore, try to see it as self-care.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not a punishment. It's something good you're doing for yourself.
Exactly. Honoring your body, investing in your well-being. That can be a lot more motivating than, I have to work out.
I like that shift in perspective. What else helps with staying on track?
Setting realistic goals. A lot of people go wrong by aiming too high, too fast. They try to do too much and then get discouraged when they can't keep up.
Yeah, it's like trying to run a marathon when you haven't even been for a jog in months.
Right. So instead of this huge overnight transformation, break it down into smaller steps.
So instead of work out 5 days a week, it's go for 3 walks this week.
Exactly. And celebrate those little wins along the way. Every step counts, no matter how small.
Progress over perfection. I like that.
And don't forget to track that progress. Use a fitness tracker, a journal, even just take progress photos. Seeing how far you've come can be super motivating.
Yeah, it's like a visual reminder of all the hard work you've put in.
It helps you stay focused on your goals and appreciate those positive changes you're making. Not just physically, but mentally too.
So true. Okay, but what about those days when you really just don't feel like working out? Like zero motivation. Any tips for those moments?
For sure. One thing is to find ways to make fitness fun. If you dread your workouts, you're way less likely to stick with them.
So how do you make working out fun?
It's about finding activities you genuinely enjoy. Maybe it's dancing, hiking, swimming, rock climbing, joining a sports league, something that gets you moving and makes you feel good.
So it's like turning exercise into playtime.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to switch things up to keep it interesting. Try new classes, explore different trails, or invite a friend to join you.
Yeah, a workout buddy can definitely make a big difference. More fun helps you stay accountable.
Totally. And if you're really struggling to stay motivated, a fitness professional can be super helpful. A trainer can create a plan for you, teach you the right techniques, and provide that extra support.
Right. A lot of people think personal trainers are a luxury, but it's an investment in your health.
I agree. And it doesn't have to be a forever thing. Even a few sessions can give you the tools you need to feel more confident on your own.
Great advice. Now, what about setbacks? Everyone hits those plateaus where progress just seems to stall. What do you do when that happens?
First of all, understand that setbacks are normal. Everyone goes through them. It's not failing, it just means your body needs a new challenge, or maybe you need to tweak your approach a little.
So it's like, don't get discouraged, just view it as a chance to learn and adjust.
Exactly. And when you hit a plateau, it's a good time to take a look at your routine. Maybe you need to bump up the intensity, try something new, or focus on your nutrition.
Keep your body guessing, right?
Exactly. Consistency is key, but it doesn't have to be perfect. You're allowed to have off days. Life happens. The important thing is to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time.
Wow, this has been an amazing deep dive. We covered so much, the science, the practical tips, how to create a routine you can actually stick with. I feel inspired.
That's awesome to hear. Remember, fitness is a journey, not a destination. It's about finding what works for you, listening to your body, and having fun with it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, folks, we've reached the end of our fitness deep dive. We hope you found this exploration informative and motivating.
And we hope it inspires you to keep exploring, experimenting, and discovering what makes you feel your best.
Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards a healthier and happier you.
Now, for one last thought before we go.
Yeah.
What's one small change you can commit to this week to boost your fitness and get closer to those goals? We'd love to hear what you're working on. Feel free to connect with us on social media and share your journey. Until next time, keep moving, keep exploring, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.